So let's talk a little bit about what is PartyKit. Well, the first thing you should know is that PartyKit is actually just an abstraction on top of Cloudflare's durable objects. So I don't know if you ever use Cloudflare's durable objects, but they're kind of an interesting technology. It's probably a good idea to understand just a little bit about them. So Cloudflare durable object is kind of like this little tiny deployment of code that can live in any of Cloudflare's data centers. And the code has state attached to it, right? So you can basically store some data along with that worker, and Cloudflare can move it around its network as needed. And it's also very suitable for a socket-based interface. So it can send messages in either send messages to the durable object, or the durable object can send messages out over a socket. Now, if you think about, let's say, imagine a chat app. Imagine that there's some people in the chat room that are chatting in California, and maybe there's another chat room going on in Japan. So in this type of situation, the same code could get deployed to two different durable objects, where one durable object is handling the chat room in California, while another durable object is handling in Japan. And you don't need a giant hop to one central location. Each region can have its own local state and local code handling that chat room. Now, it's probably a good idea also to understand the terminology that PartyKit uses. And so when they have this term called a room, and a room is basically just the server handling many connections, right? So you could have between 0 and n number of clients all connected to one server, and that's called a room. But you could have multiple rooms as well, right? Imagine that in a chat type of app, for example, maybe this is one room where they're chatting about support, and this is another room where they're chatting about new features. So it's the same code on both of these, but the actual data though is different, right? Because the data in here is the chat log of that room, whereas this is the chat log of this room. And these could both live on different places, like physical locations on the map. Now, another cool thing that PartyKit gives us is the ability to store data. So it gives us this nice little kind of KV API where you can either get, update, delete your data. And this is important because you want data to survive if, like, the durable object or the server closes and restarts. And actually, that could happen a lot because durable objects support hibernation. That's really cool because that means that if your code's not getting used, it actually will shut down. And so that's why we have to put data in storage so that when it comes back from hibernation, right, you want to basically then pull back in the last state. And so this can save you a lot of money, right? Because then you don't have to pay when you're not using, if nobody's chatting in the chat room, just spin down the chat room, right? So I think that's kind of a really neat feature. It also gives us the ability to schedule stuff, so you can set up like cron rules, actually, like to trigger code to happen at certain intervals. You can also set up alarms too, and we'll look at that in a future video. And it gives us this nice little dev server, which is actually using Cloudflare's what they call Miniflare. It's kind of like a simulation that you could run locally of Cloudflare, and that gives us the we have that CLI, basically, we can run dev, like PartyKit dev, to basically run the local dev server. It also gives us the ability to deploy, of course, Cloudflare, right? So you can deploy, either you can deploy with PartyKit, and I think you then pay PartyKit, or you could also deploy to your own Cloudflare account, and then you just pay through your own account. So that's kind of cool that you can just use your own account, which is really nice. So I think all these things together, they really make certain use cases just much easier, like multiplayer games, collaboration tools, any type, whether it's graphic design, music, right? Anything where multiple people are accessing the same state, multiple users, hitting the same data, and especially also I think people don't realize sometimes, but that when you have multiple devices, you're in a multiplayer situation. So if you want to, let's say, have imagine right now I'm recording a video and I'm using multiple. I want that my tablet and my desktop and all the devices to all be connected, to all control, have one interface, and I could change the volume on my tablet, and I want it to happen on my desktop as well. Right now, that's super hard to do, but with PartyKit, in theory, I could make an app that did that. So I think that's really, really cool. Anyways, I'm excited to share with you what I learned about PartyKit. I hope you guys will enjoy the series. Cheers.